Hey guys, LadyB here, and this is Clash Me Anything, the show where I interview top players and creators around the Clash of Clans universe to find out answers to questions that will help you level up your game. Now joining me today, we have BuMm, who is one of the top players in the competitive scene, but you might know him as the team captain for ATN.aTTaX, who won the 2020 World Championships. They're also the two-time reigning ESL Meisterschaft champs and, most recently, the 2021 World Warm-Ups winners.
Hello guys, I'm BuMm. Really happy to be here.
Also joining us, we have Judo Sloth. Judo is one of Clash of Clans' most well-known content creators and most acclaimed casters and technical analysts. He will be joining the casting team for World Championships the third year in a row.
Thank you for having me, LadyB. I look forward to discussing everything with you all.
And finally, we have Seth Allison, a Clash of Clans game designer who is going to be talking us through this big Town Hall 14 update.
Thanks for having me, LadyB. I'm here on behalf of the whole Clash of Clans team, and I can't wait to talk about Town Hall 14 and the World Championships.
Now, in this show today, we're going to be talking about the big update for Town Hall 14. We'll also be talking about the new format for the Clash of Clans World Championships, and we're going to talk about season predictions for 2021 in the World Championships. Now, let's get started talking on this big update. So Town Hall 14 is finally here, bringing us some new and amazing features. So Seth, I think this is the best opportunity for you to tell us a little bit more about them.
Yeah, so Town Hall 14 was just released. It's really exciting. It's been the most fun Town Hall, I think, to work on for the whole team. There's really two major parts of Town Hall 14. There's the offensive part, the hero pets, that make your attacks quite a bit stronger, and there's a new defensive element, which is the upgraded builder huts that now defend themselves and repair nearby buildings. The combination of those two make Town Hall 14 really different from past Town Halls, and I'm excited to hear what Judo and BuMm and the other kind of pro community think about how it will affect the World Championships.
Let's talk about the battle builders, because this was a really nice addition coming through, using what we already have, as Seth mentioned, in the game and just reconcepting it. So what is the general impression on this new concept for you, BuMm? What do you think about these battle builders?
I think the idea of the builders now, for one, repairing buildings, but also defending themselves is really, really great. I really want to see them now not outside of the base, just doing nothing. Now inside the base, defending themselves on attacks. I really liked it. I really like that we have 5 more defense buildings, kinda. And also repairing. This is like completely new in the whole Clash of Clans universe so far. I really like them also in the base building aspect, because now we're thinking about, okay, where does it actually make sense? Like, which building do I want to protect the most? So far, I think that buildings which have the highest HP buildings, like for example the Town Hall or the Eagle Artillery, are the targets for the base builder huts to repair. And yeah, that's where my focus lies on.
I think that's going to be the interesting component of it, is to see how base building starts aligning with this new concept and seeing what's going to be the best strategy of where you place the items. We've been seeing people playing around quite a bit. And for you, Judo, what's your impression on that, particularly from maybe if you're not necessarily doing base building, but from what you're seeing in a lot of the pro gameplay, where you think these battle builder huts are best used?
I just love anything that is unique in its mechanic, so that's why I love the battle builders. I think it's going to be interesting because I want to see different perspectives, and until we get to the qualifiers, we might not see everyone's A game, if that makes sense. Like, people might be having tricks up their sleeve or holding tricks up their sleeve, and I'm interested to know how many builders people will put around a defense, because it's similar to the healer on the heroes in the stacking effect. So I think it's probably going to be more like 2 builder huts, if I were to have a guess. But I love that they are a small building, so they can just slot in there as well. I've got to say, though, that one of my favorite things is actually using the spells on the builders. I don't know why, I just love the fact that the spells work on the builders. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we'll see a
Give 'em a
little
little
bit more of that
freeze.
coming down. Yeah, freeze,
Yeah, and
poison, hold them off.
Freeze.
I will be loving the fact if I can cast a match where somebody has a Super Valkyrie in the clan castle to enrage that builder and heal the town hall. Bring it on, BuMm. There you go.
We've shared videos like that within the Clash of Clans team, like some of the posts that go on Reddit or on Twitter, where you see like the difference in a 3-star attack was a poison slowing down the builder, so he couldn't repair it in time. Like, chef's kiss. Those are like the moments that we really hope to see when we were developing it.
I have a viewer question for you, Seth. And this one actually comes from Chris from the Clash of Clans Esports Instagram. He wants to know, where did you get the idea for those battle builders? But he also says, hello, lots of love from India, and very nice work on Town Hall 14.
Oh, well, thank you, Chris, and lots of love back to India. The defensive builders, that was an idea that we talked about. We wanted to make the base building and the attack strategy a lot more strategically deep and complex, but we didn't want to expand the size of the village dramatically either. You know, a village that was 4 times bigger wouldn't be 4 times more fun to attack. We wanted the attacks to stay kind of in that tight 3-minute window that we're all used to from Clash of Clans. So we were looking at the existing buildings in the village and wondering, you know, well, which of these buildings could be maybe improved in a way? And one of the ideas was, you know, the builders, whenever there's an attack that starts, they run into the town hall. They get out of there. But after 14 town halls, you'd think they'd have a little bit more confidence to stand their ground. They're like, hey, I've worked really hard on this village. I'm not going to just give it up that easily. And that's kind of started the idea of, well, what if the builders defended themselves? What if they started repairing the other nearby buildings? And once we started play testing it, it was just instantly a lot of fun. You know from playing it now in the live game, when those builders pop up and start repairing, it's such a like, oh no, like it brings out a lot of emotions. And of course, when their builder hut's destroyed, they just go into their little hidey hole.
I love the hidey holes. That's actually one of the first things I noticed, and it makes me think, is there going to be an underworld village to come, or what happens, or can there be some expansion on it with like pitfalls? But it might be another discussion for another time, but it is definitely exciting.
No
And Now, Seth, with the battle huts being a concept that was already in place, very, very different from where we have something like the pets, which was a completely new concept coming to the Town Hall 14 update. What actually inspired the pets? Tell us a little bit about this story behind it.
Yeah, pets are a really cool story, I think. You know, everyone at Supercell works together as a team. There is no like manager or boss or whatever that kind of dictates what everything's going to be. So when the whole Clash of Clans team got together to talk about Town Hall 14, like what are we going to do? The designers, some of the programmers came in with ideas. I'm like, oh, what about this? Let's see if we can like convince it. But actually, pets came from the art team. The art team had come in and they said, we really like this idea. We've got all these concepts for different pet ideas that could follow around the heroes. And after talking about it as a team, we were kind of like, that's the best idea. Like that's what, you know, throw all of our stuff away. Let's go with this. It was a really, really fun feature to develop. We went through a lot of different ideas and play tested a variety of different pets. We came down to the 4 that we launched with. We really like how it's, you know, you got a melee attacker, a ranged attacker, a support healer, and a bit of a wall buster in the Mighty Yak. So we like the variety and the differences between them, and seeing how players are trying to decide which hero goes with which pet has been really rewarding, I think, as a game developer.
Now, let's talk a little bit about predictions for the strongest hero-pet combination, because this is what really adds a lot of strategy to the game, is the fact that we can swap these pets in and out with different heroes, but it does seem there's a little bit of settlement that I've noticed with what players are doing. But for you, BuMm, what would you say is the strongest pet-hero combination that you're finding right now?
Like, I do think that the unicorn and the yak are the 2 by far the most important ones, and that's why we have to think about these pets first. And I do think that the yak and unicorn, it actually depends on the strategy you use, but usually you want to have those 2 pets on the king and queen, because the 2 king and queen are just opening up an attack, and this is really, really, really important to get the triple at the end. And I think that the unicorn and yak can be different on each attack, but on the king and queen, and the electro owl on the warden for sure, In the end, we have no option than have the Lassie on the world champ.
But for you, Judo, like what the strongest pet hero combination? You said it before, you love your queen, the unicorn, nice combination, the yak. Any other thing that you think would be a stronger combination?
Lassie and RC is great because anything else, the Royal Champion's a little bit too quick for the other pets, I feel. Because the Electro Owl targets the target of the hero, it makes sense with the Warden for me because the Warden has the greater range. So it is the yak and the unicorn. I use the unicorn on the king if I just want him on the outside of the base, so for example a hybrid attack. But if I'm doing more of a P.E.K.K.A smash or a Yeti smash and I want the king to enter a particular compartment to take that out and help pathing through the middle, that's when I will use the yak with the king just to help get into that compartment, because it's perfect to bust into compartments that you don't really want to use wall breakers for. And I think it is based on the king, I would say, more on what I want him to do. And then I throw the yak and the unicorn on the queen, whichever's left.
Maybe I'm a noob, or maybe I'm a genius, but I really like the Mighty Yak on the Royal Champion, because I use my Royal Champion in a lot of just suicide dives, and what I like is when the Royal Champion jumps a wall, the Yak will start bashing the wall down right away to catch up with her. And then when the Royal Champion dies, the Yak gets enraged, and now you've got an enraged Yak in the middle of their base. So it's a nice way to kind of get in there. I don't know. I'll let you know when I get to Titan 3.
Now, talking about competitive play, we've got some burning questions going on about what's going to happen with this competitive year going into 2021. And who better to walk us through this than Judo Sloth to tell us about this high-level format for the World Championships. Tell us a little bit more about what we can expect to see.
Sure, so there will be 6 qualifiers, much like previous years, and in order to get to that stage, you have to sign up via the in-game Clan War Leagues. Now, what is different is that your clan does not have to be in Champions 1. As long as your clan is in Champions 1 through 3, you can sign up to the monthly pre-qualifier. Now, this is where you have a team of 5 battle in a 2-day single elimination tournament until we are left with just 6 teams. These 6 teams are who enter the monthly qualifiers, and this is the broadcast where the teams battle for a golden ticket. The winner gains the golden ticket, but what is different this year is we also have a silver ticket for the second place team. So the golden ticket winners move forth to the finals, but the silver ticket winners have a spot in the last chance qualifier. So at the end of the 6 monthly qualifiers, we have the last chance qualifier with the 6 silver ticket winners and 4 wildcard teams who are from external community tournaments. This gives us 10 teams in the last chance qualifier. They are split into 2 groups, and the 2 winners will also join the 6 golden ticket teams, giving us 8 clans for this year's World Championship Finals.
Now, with all of these changes that we have coming from the new qualifier setup, there are still some questions, and I've got one in particular coming from Logan for you, Seth. Now, Logan asked over on our COC Esports Twitter page, he wants to know about this whole 15-player lineup, and with a CWL team now being required to enter with those 15 players, can a clan then form 3 teams of 5 from one clan during a CWL? Or is it one team that can be signed up from the one clan for the pre-qualifiers? How does this work?
Great question, Logan. Okay, it's a little tricky, but stay with me. You need 15 players in the CWL section, but when you move to the pre-qualifier and qualifier stage, you're going to need to pick your 5 best players. That's the team that you're going to enter, and it's only one 5-person team per clan per month. All right? However, if that team wins a golden ticket, all 5 of them are going to World Finals. That same clan may enter a new 5-person roster into future qualifiers as long as those 5 people are completely new. They can't overlap at all with the existing golden ticket team.
Now, BuMm, when it comes to a big change in a game, like an update just coming right through just before the World Championships, what kind of priority list do you have in trying to get ready and set to adapt?
First of all, because of the Town Hall 14 update is so big, there are so many upgrades to do, not only in offense but also in defense. It is really important to farm a lot, maybe invest some money to get these offers, which is really nice, to get the base upgraded, so we can have at the end like a perfect overview about what attack strategies are viable, and also the base meta, like defense meta, which bases are holding with max defenses. So we have to see max defense against max offense. So our first priority would be to farm our bases to max. And then we also obviously watch streams from other top teams like Queen Walkers, MCS or Nishang Dance, and how do they attack actually right now. We are watching them, we are like analyzing them, and we are using also our strategies, our preferences to discover the meta. And then obviously the last thing would be, how do we actually defend against these attacks? This is what we are doing right now.
So quite a big list, nice laundry list of preparation, but we're gonna have to see how much it's gonna pay off and what the other teams are doing trying to get into this one.
LadyB, that's what's so exciting about the qualifiers, because like Judo said, that's the time when people actually bring their A game. There's definitely a period right after an update where everyone upgrades all of their offensive stuff. You know, out of the first 10 upgrades you make, it's probably Town Hall, Eagle Artillery, and then the rest is all the offensive stuff. And I think at the qualifier will be the first time we really see those insanely difficult base layouts, and the first time that really the viewer might see a true max Town Hall 14 attack against a max Town Hall 14 defense.
It might be impressive, though, if we can see people who aren't fully maxed and finding ways to circumvent this whole situation. I'm the hopeful optimist of seeing just like crazy stuff coming out of this again, especially because we have this open to everyone who is a Town Hall 14 and can get their way into the CWL qualifiers. So this is exciting times to come. So let's talk a little bit about game balance right now. We've seen a big jump coming in just before the World Championship qualifiers are starting up, and there's some concern in the community about making sure that everything's going to be all set and ready to go. So Judo, what is your perspective on the current balance? Do you think battle builders right now will help to balance over time as we see base strategies evolve?
Yeah, I think over time we definitely will, because this is or has been a recurring theme for as long as I have played Clash of Clans. And I think it comes down to a number of factors, in the sense that when an update is launched, attacking for the majority of people is what you upgrade. It's always offense heavy. You want to have a stronger attack because that's the core part of Clash of Clans. That's where you feel in your element. So you always blast into offensive upgrades, and the defensive upgrades go on the back burner a little bit. There's also things like power potions and hero potions, which very quickly you can get access to maximum level troops, maximum level heroes, but there's not a defensive potion to give you maximum level defenses. Maybe that's something that could be added in the future, cool. Seth, I don't know, but there's not a defensive potion. So you always have this kind of balance, offensive heaviness when an update is launched. And also, you know, it's tough to know what strategies are going to be in place until you get your hands on the update and until the pro scenes start testing things out. And base building is always a little bit reactive. You know, you're trying to build against what the current meta is and what you feel your opponent is going to attack you with. So you can't do that until the update has been out a little bit. So I do feel like it is going to feel offensive heavy, and those are just a few factors that I see going into that. And I think over time we will see better discovery of the battle builders, we will see the bases being upgraded, and ultimately better base layouts to, you know, nicely balance things as we move on. I know that this has been something that occurs every single update, and every single update it seems to balance itself out.
So we also have more viewer questions for Judo and BuMm. Now, Eugene, who asked this over on the COC Esports Instagram account, would like to know what new strategies that you feel may arise with the introduction of these defensive builder huts or offensive hero pets, or quite possibly will there be older strategies that we see with the arrival of Town Hall 14?
I also am in the opinion that we will see a lot of strategies from Town Hall 13 because I think they are still core strategies, and what works, why would you change it, right? If it's 3 stars and you are comfortable with that, you've crafted your skills to be effective with a particular strategy, why would you try something drastically new? And because there's no new troops as such, I think it just offers better value in those attack strategies, if that makes sense. I do think that we will see a lot more queen charges coming back into the meta because we have the upgraded healer level, and also you can have the yak or the unicorn in order to kind of go with that. And also some of Vale's crazy hero dives I think will be charging into the meta, because I really think there will be attacks where the main phase of the attack is what we have previously thought of as the opener, if that makes sense.
And what do you BuMm, do you think we're going to see anything different? Because we do, as Judo mentioned, we definitely see a lot of this Town Hall 13 meta shifting in with the addition of the pets to help support it. But do you think there are any lost strategies that we might start revamping and seeing, like Valks, which we almost never see in Town Hall 13? Could that come back in Town Hall 14?
Now, from my personal perspective, I do not think, unfortunately, that we will see completely new strategies, like not even that old strategies are coming back. Just because, like, from the offensive side, we now have only the pets in addition to the Town Hall 13 offense. I don't think that the pets are like working as new troops. They're just as some additional to the heroes. So it makes just only sense that we have like the same strategies as Town Hall 13, but the pets obviously will favor some strategies to be used more than before. Like, for example, the air strategies, I think, in general, with the lava loon strategies, or like a dragon with a heroes, that those attacks like are probably seen even more than what we've seen in the past.
So now let's get to the final segment here. Let's talk about predictions for 2021. Attack strategies. Judo, what do you think we're going to see now coming into this 2021 meta? I know we've talked a little bit about it, but what do you think is going to be the most predominant attack strategy that we'll get to see in these qualifiers?
That is a really tough question, because I am sure a lot of the pro teams are just practicing, you know, and just trying to hone in on exactly what they want to do. I think we will see a lot of Queen Charge Lalo moving back into the meta, just because, like I kind of hinted on before, I think when everything is on the line and there's $1 million to play for, people will go with what they are safe with and what they feel is going to be the most confident strategy to get the 3 stars. And I think a lot of the competitive scene became so proficient with the Queen Charge Lalo, and it did just kind of get hindered in previous metas, if you will. But I think with the new healer level, with the addition of hero pets, I think that it will come back into the meta. So that would be one strategy I would be a little bit more focused on. But I don't think there is going to be drastic changes. I think it's more just that we will see more explosive openings with the hero pets, allowing people to take a few more risks, if you will, to get a few areas of the base destroyed before they then move on to the next phase.
I think that excites me to see what might come from players like Vala or even Klaus, who take those big risks that we saw in the 2020 World Championships. And speaking of those 2 players who came from the top 2 teams at the end, what do you think we're going to see now with this whole new format as far as teams coming into the 2021 qualifiers?
Oh, I always hate this moment trying to predict. And look, there are so many amazing teams in Clash of Clans, and last year really just proved the depth, because in the qualifiers, every single one of those qualifiers could have been a World Championship finals. Like, the teams were so amazing. And there were some teams that you could see winning the whole thing, and they didn't even qualify. That is the depth of the esports scene right now. I think the clear favorites have to be, ATN. Not just saying that, BuMm. ATN, Queen Walkers. I think it's really difficult to predict until we start seeing qualifiers, because even though there are community tournaments, the qualifiers are where everything matters. That's where everyone brings their A game. And it can sometimes be difficult to get a gauge on which teams are going to do well from the community tournaments. I mean, even the World's warm-up is now really difficult to look at that and make a prediction, because, well, there was a pretty big update in the middle of it. So I'd like to say ATN and Queen Walkers, just because ATN always, never cease to amaze me, and the Queen Walkers always amaze me on their creativity. And I think for those reasons, they will still be two strong competitors this year.
Oh, I just want to jump in and say that Queen Walkers impressed me the most last year with their creativity. I was the most excited to watch their matches. But as a resident of Tampa Bay and Los Angeles, I'm going with the defending champions. Until ATTaX gets defeated, the safe money's on them. Got to respect the reigning champion.
I think the exciting thing that could come out of this is similar to what we saw last year, but maybe even more so, where we do get to see some of the players that we know, but then we get this whole new set of new teams like HT Family and all the craziness they brought, including Super Archers. Like, it had just come out of the Town Hall 13 update, and they're bringing Super Archers to a qualifier. So I think that's kind of, I think this new format could open up for that, and that's exciting, but it could be a huge game changer for teams like Queen Walkers and ATN that get shown all the time. People know their strategies, people learn how to defend against them. So for me, I'm gonna say I think it's all up in the air. What do you think, BuMm?
I mostly agree with Judo, like with Queen Walkers and Elton probably being the favorites, but joke aside, I think the Asian region is really strong. In the past we've seen so many Chinese, Korean, Japanese clans. They are really scary. Another clan which I want to point out is MCES, from France. They were the Rise champion 2019. Last year they had some roster changes. They were struggling a lot, and we've not really seen them too often on the streams. But now they seem really scary as ever. They have now new players. They are really have good structure in the team. Within the team, they beat us already in the ESL Europe qualifiers. Yes, I think they are a team to watch out for, and I think they will be one of their favorites next month.
Yeah, totally. I would agree with that, because they do have really good structure, and the more we start talking, the more teams just start flushing into your head. And I'd also shout out some of the teams that I feel haven't always been in the limelight, but have continued to progress in their own development. Let's say Indian Clashers. We've seen them first enter the qualifiers, then we've seen them grow as a team to the point where they shocked everybody, knocking out the Queen Walkers in the World's warm-up. And I think teams like that, Method to Madness being another one, I mean, we've seen the talent of Nishang Dance, but they are another team that continue to improve. And I think when you are always trending up, that's an important factor when you are constantly chasing and putting in the work. So it also wouldn't surprise me if we'd seen, one of those teams rising towards the top this year as well.
All right, guys, the time has come to wrap up the show, but the 2021 Clash of Clans esports conversation is just starting. Now, were there any questions that you had that you didn't get answers to today? Make sure to leave them in the comment section below, where you have a chance to have them featured live during the May qualifiers. Now the 2021 Race to World Championship glory is starting this May, and you can catch it all here on the Clash of Clans YouTube channel, May 29th and 30th at 1 a.m. UTC. Until next time, happy clashing, and we'll see you on the battlefield.